Hey there! So, today we're talking about Oh Captain, My Captain by Walt Whitman. In our textbook, this is page 200. First off, Walt Whitman, poet, late 1800s. He was born in 1819, died in 1892. He did serve as a medic in the Civil War, and then after and before, he was actually a writer, an essayist, poem writer, became really famous during his time period. He's still considered one of the best American poets we have. He also started a kind of a whole. He was a transition poet coming out of the early 1800s, where there was a lot of romanticism, transcendentalism, also known as this like love for nature. Is basically the hallmark of it. And coming into the late 1800s, early 1900s, a time of realism, where artists, including authors, were trying to more focus on real images in their stories. His kind of crosses that. It's a kind of a combination of that love for nature, overly romantic, but also very, very real. What you get here in Oh Captain, My Captain is his elegy, which is a written piece mourning the loss of someone. I'm sure you've heard of a eulogy. That is if someone stands up and speaks about the person at their funeral. So at the funeral, somebody stands up and talks. That's a eulogy. An elegy is a written version. So Walt Whitman wrote Oh Captain, My Captain as an elegy to Abraham Lincoln. He was very explicit about this. That's how we know. Because when we read it here, you're going to find out that the captain is Abraham Lincoln, and there's a whole lot of other metaphor, because literally Abraham Lincoln is not mentioned one bit. So, first off, I want you to just listen to it. It's a very exciting poem and also heartbreaking. And then we'll go back and discuss. Oh, Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting. While follow eyes and steady keel the vessel, grim and daring. But oh heart, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold and dead. Oh Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills, for you the bouquets and ribboned wreaths, for you the shores a-crowding. For you they call, the swaying masses, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with objects won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells, but I with mournful tread walk the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold and dead. Okay, so let's go back and discuss. Starting at the top of the page, Oh Captain, My Captain. It's very exuberance, it's very excitement. They got these exclamation points in the middle of sentences that aren't even sentences. They're just, exultations, just exclamation. But it starts with the letter O, and that's like a word. Now, if you think back, there is something that is older than this, 1865, that you know, that I know, that everybody in the United States knows. A poem, also known as a song, the lyrics in this song, the very first word is O. Say, can you see where the dawn's early? Right? Star Spangled Banner. Brilliant. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to bring that emotion of patriotism into this play, because he is referring to the president being assassinated. Oh, Captain, my captain, that is Abraham Lincoln. The fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. So if you try to think like going on with this extended metaphor, like what is the ship? Probably the United States of America. It has weathered every rack, so it's weathered every storm. So that is the Civil War. It's weathered through these battles. It's beat up, but it's still floating. It still works. Does it need some repairs? Oh, yeah, it does, but it's still good. The fearful trip is done, meaning Civil War is over. The prize we sought is won, the preservation of the Union. The port is near, meaning they're almost there because they're not quite. The bells I hear, the people all exulting, so people are excited that the war is over. While follow eyes and steady keel, the vessel grim and daring, the boat's falling apart, but it's still floating. Oh, heart, heart, heart. And now he looks back, and oh, bleeding drops of red were on the deck that my captain lies fallen cold and dead. He looks back, and the captain is dead, meaning Abraham Lincoln, because Abraham Lincoln did die. Right. Civil War ends. It's like 5 days later, he's assassinated. So it's just so close. The next one, the next stanza here, because if you count, it's like 9 lines, ignoring that one space in the middle. And then the next set is 9 lines. And then the last set is 9 lines. 3 stanzas of 9 lines each that all end with the same line, fallen cold and dead. You've fallen cold and dead. And fallen cold and dead. Which also, if you look at that particular line on any of them, if you skip up to the third line from the end, the last 2 words rhyme. So like red, dead. Next one down, head dead. And also tread dead. So that's part of his rhyming pattern for this poem. And let's see. Okay, the second part. This is more like a disbelief. Like I can't believe it's really happening. Like the president has been fighting for the end of the Civil War for this whole time, and all these people are excited that the war is over, and they're celebrating. They're like, woo, we won, 600,000 dead people, that sucks, but at least it wasn't in vain. We've done it. Oh my God. Yay, show us Abraham Lincoln. We want to celebrate. And then he's dead. Like, talk about bad timing, right? Okay. And it's also this piece, like especially at the end, the second line 18. It was some dream on that deck. You've fallen cold and dead. So he even says, like, this has got to be a dream. It can't be real. Like, this cannot happen. We cannot just, like, win the Civil War after all this death and craziness and then lose you right now. That's crazy. And so the next part is, my captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. This gets into that realism piece of like what it really looks like. The oh captain, my captain is just this overarching like emotional push, right? Just motion. Now this is like, boom. This is what he looks like. He's dead. My father does not feel my arm. Father, you know, like founding fathers. The presidency is a father. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored, so the country is safe and sound. Its voyage closed and done, so the war is over. From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with object 1. We've won the war again. Exulto shores and ring o bells. So people, he's saying, you need to celebrate. You do. We need to celebrate. But I, with mournful tread, walk the deck. My captain lies fallen cold and dead. It's like, but I need to mourn the loss of our president. Like, that's too much for me. I can't help in this glory. So that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you the next time.